you to do that, but it tells me that you're a person of action, you're a person of intention, which is exactly the type of person that I like talking to.
Well, I appreciate that.
So I appreciate you coming up here and driving up, and hopefully you'll get to see a few monuments while you're here that are a little more special than me. But I want to give you the floor and just give you a platform to promote what you're doing. You left a college profession that is becoming more lucrative by the day, is looked at as a high status symbol in our society, is something that you dreamt about when you were 12 years old, and you walked away from that.
Yeah.
So there had to have been something really special for you and a calling for you in order to walk away from that. So share with us what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how people can follow you and find out the work that you're doing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my purpose, even through coaching, has always been to try to impact the lives of the young girls that I was coaching and connecting with. And I knew how important coaches were. I knew how influential my coaches were, and how all of these people came into my life. And they weren't my blood relatives. So it was just, we crossed paths for a reason and a divine purpose. And so my whole life has been about that story. So when I got into college coaching, I was like, I'm going to make it about that. Because initially I didn't want to coach in college. And so the whole purpose has always been about people, always been about kids, always been about development. And success has been a byproduct of some of those things. Talent, the right system, the right time, the right year, all that stuff goes into winning basketball games. But I've always wanted to identify myself as a coach who wanted to see young girls become strong, confident women that were not afraid of anything, that knew who they were, their self-image was positive, they thought with a positive mental attitude. All of those things Tony Robbins taught me and Oprah taught me. I always wanted to share that with my players, and I thought, man, if I can implement this and basketball, that's like, cherry on top. But overall, I've been hiding behind basketball to a certain degree to not deal with certain things that were going on with me internally. And so from the sexual abuse or the dysfunction in my home, from the verbal abuse or not thinking I'm good enough, or being adopted and handling abandonment and rejection, and the death of my mom, and even the death of my grandmother, who was the person I identify as unconditional love in my life. All of these things, I just realized, like, I haven't been through this journey for no reason, and I think I probably need to share it. And one thing happened to me that I kind of put into context at the end of this year. Every team I've ever coached, 14 years of college coaching, there's been one kid on every team who's come in my office and said, "Coach, I've been sexually abused."
Did they always know your story, or was it just
I've always been able to be very transparent with my basketball teams. I don't know why. That's been my I identify them always as family, because I don't have any. So, my teams have always been like just that safe place for me to, in basketball, I put it all together, but just to be myself and to be a little more open. And basketball and sport in general is just so non-judgmental for the most part. You're not judged on your race, you're not judged on your sexuality.
Can you play?
That's all that matters. Yeah. And can you help me be better, and can you help our team win, and so on. So I've always felt comfortable sharing with my teams that I've been a victim of sexual abuse, and I was adopted, and it puts in context who I am. So when I talk to them about things, it's not like, where's this coming from, Coach? They understand a little more about, okay, this is where she's coming from.
Well, you open up vulnerability, and then you allow them to be vulnerable. And relationships that lack vulnerability are typically not very strong relationships.
Right. People protect themselves from rules and things. And I didn't want to be a rules coach. I just wanted to be like, let's connect and let's have a partnership, really. And I think the more you can do just as much for me as I can do for you in this moment. And so I've had girls come and tell me their story. And I have not been shocked, because it's been my story and it's been very common for me. And but I realized, 1 in 4 girls will be sexually abused before they turn 16. 1 in 4. That's a lot. And that's just reported, I never reported to anybody. So there's a lot who aren't even saying anything. But I get these young girls in their college years who are like I was in college, trying to figure it out. You know, their sexuality, their dysfunction at home, and then they have access to all these other behaviors. Abuse of alcohol, and now I'm asking you to go make A's, and I'm also asking you to touch the baseline, and I know the scouting report, and you know, you're being challenged in all these areas, so I get them, but I also was like, this is too common. This becomes way more important to me than winning games. But my boss hired me to win games.
Sure.
The community wants to see us win games. As much as everybody wants to see kids graduate and develop, they don't know that kid's story. They don't know what I'm doing in my other hours to help this young girl develop and mature and be okay. And also continue to have a relationship with them long after they've graduated, because I know you're going to still be in pain. I know you're going to be dealing with this for when you're in your mid-20s, because college kids think they know what they know. You know, they know everything at that point. No, life's going to get a whole lot difficult until you come to terms with these things, and I'm going to be here to help you.
So tell me about Refuse to Lose, the idea behind it.
So that was the idea around resigning, to open up this platform of creating a personal empowerment brand, totally built to inspire people